Several of the attorneys who represented Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election were never paid for their work.
What?
He doesn't pay anybody.
I mean,
seriously, so cheap.
Seriously, did they not know this going in?
They're just so excited to be with him.
Are they now going, oh my God, you mean he...
What? He doesn't pay?
You mean the great pumpkin doesn't rise from the pumpkin patch?
It doesn't.
Every Halloween evening to
that
give...
big orange pumpkin.
Candy to good boys and girls?
This latest news is according to testimony from congressional investigators and Federal Election Commission records. Not only were they not compensated...
Wait, but he stole $250 million from his supporters.
You're so dumb.
And he lied to his supporters that this was to stop the steal. He raised $250 million and he did not pay them?
Not only were they not compensated, I feel like we can make fun of this a little bit. You know, I don't like it when Donald Trump has taken advantage of people.
Well, it's like the Jim and Tammy Faye Baker thing I always said about my grandma.
Yeah. There are innocents in this. These are not one of them. These lawyers.
These lawyers, no.
Anyhow, not only were they not compensated, their lawsuits and false claims helped the Trump campaign and allies raise $250 million. As CNBC reports, among those who were stiffed, Trump's closest ally, Rudy Giuliani. The records show that Giuliani's companies were only reimbursed for travel and not the $20,000 a day he requested to be paid. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, but I've got to say...
$20,000 a day?
I've got to say, Giuliani may not have gotten paid for his work with Donald Trump after the election, but he did get indicted. So there's that. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But David French, I always talk about how my grandma would send her Social Security checks, sadly, even though my parents tried to intervene, to Jim and Tammy Faye Baker while they were building their massive multi-million-dollar scam operation out of in Charlotte, North Carolina. And here, I mean, we've seen Steve Bannon sent to jail, or at least arrested for his phony scheme to raise, I don't know, $10 million or whatever to build the wall. I find it hard to believe that Jack Smith doesn't come back later with a superseding indictment that doesn't go after this $250 million that Donald Trump fraudulently raised, claiming the election was rigged when he knew it wasn't rigged. I mean, that seems to be, that would have been the first crime I would have brought as a prosecutor because it would have been the easiest to prove.
Well, believe it or not, it's probably going to be easier to prove the crimes that Smith has already charged than that one. I mean, there's going to be a lot of latitude when you're raising money for a campaign, for a cause. You've got a lot of latitude in how you spend those dollars. And so it's actually going to be easier to do what Jack Smith did in the absence of smoking guns regarding fraudulent intent, for example, say in the fundraising. It's going to be a lot easier to do what Smith did. He did that sort of, instead of the shotgun blast indictment, he did much more of the rifle shot indictment, narrowly focused on the specific claims related to the effort to overturn the election. I think he wants to get to trial on this matter as soon as he possibly can. And the more he lards up his indictment of Trump, the slower that case is going to proceed. So I might be a little, could be wrong, but I might be a little bit surprised if he throws anything else, into the stew in this court, in this case in D.C.